On the count of three, let's go. One, two, three. You're live, and I'm standing here, and you're with me at the intersections of life and sports, at the crossroads where life and sports intersect. I'm your host, Coach TJ, and I'm bringing you a very special edition of the Crossroads that was pre-recorded, but live nonetheless. We're going to be taking a deep dive look into big business, a multi-million dollar business, and that's the sports travel industry. We're going to be looking at how an event comes together, the level of care from the host organization, the city, and all the entities, strategic partners that are involved in putting it all together. So when you arrive, you have a very special time and your athletes are able to enjoy. So sit back, relax, as you're with me at the corners of life and sports at the crossroads where life and sports intersect. I'll see you on the other side. Peace. Of life and sports. And we're here today to talk about the dualities between life and sports and bring to you a very special edition of the show. And I've wanted to cover this topic for some time, and I haven't had a good reason why to do it. And the basis of the show, we like to show how life and sports ties together, whether it's life sports entertainment, life sports politics, and we like to put a nice, neat bow at the end of the show. So the topic of discussion today is the youth travel sports market. Millions of Americans every year spend millions of dollars in youth sports travel. And a lot of times I've been to these events, me and my wife, with our kids, and we don't know how they come about. Only thing we know is when we get there, the hotel's ready, the city is welcoming us with open arms, and we just participate and enjoy ourselves. But behind the scenes, there's a whole lot that goes into it. So I would like to call this the masterclass phase one. And it's the strategic partnership between the city entities and the community at large, along with the organization working together to bring it on home. So today, to help facilitate this show, I have the rare special treat, and I've been trying to do this for some time to actually be in community with my beautiful wife. I never really call her name. I refer to her as Babe, but you will know her as Robina Lynn Epps, soon to be Dr. Lynn Epps. Lynn, say hello.
Hi, everyone.
Uh, great stuff. So, Lynn, and putting all this together, and we're here to talk about Legends to Legacy Foundation Inc. And putting this all together, being in the sports marketing industry for some time now, helping student athletes. I always knew something was missing. I always knew it could be a little bit more. In my life, I've gone through a transformation to where I want to serve myself, and now that I'm in my 50s, I turn 54 next week. I'm looking to serve others and really go from wanting to be a legend, transforming and concentrating on legacy. Our foundation is here to serve those student athletes from social economic disadvantaged backgrounds, along with those that have learning differences. But more importantly, we're a safe space for all student athletes, all families, because the amount of information that's going to be given through our virtual seminars, trainings, and workshops, and our strategic partners really connects all communities. Because the one thing in this country, this region, um, this northern hemisphere, we're all connected. We're just using football to be that bridge to connect the dots and really serve the grassroots football community. Len, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you because I'll talk all day about this. I am so passionate, and Len can tell you stories. I work on this from the morning to the evening to make sure everything, the foundation, is set properly. So, Len, go ahead and take it away.
All right. So, everyone, let me set the stage a little bit for the rest of our chat today. So, what we'll do is we have, as you can see, a host of professionals, executives on the call. So we're going to hear from everyone. We're going to walk through the concept of the Game of the All-American Week. We're going to share information about our amazing partners in Louisiana. We're going to talk about our organizational board, and then we're going to talk about what you can expect at the event. And then we're also going to talk about some of our strategic partnerships. And so, to what Thomas said, and so you'll also hear me say Coach, Babe, Thomas, all the things, because we were trying to figure out what do I call you. So, what we're talking about is the idea and the concept around a holistic experience, a holistic approach to support the student athlete and their family. And so, to that end, in order to even to hope to create this type of event or this experience, in addition to Thomas's vision, he has an amazing leadership team, and so we wanted to take a minute to for them to share their background, why they're invested in this experience, and then we'll go from there. So to kick us off, let's start with Glenn Littman, and Glenn is the executive managing director at Legends to Legacy Foundation. He also is an executive with Zord Sports, so he has a extensive background in sports marketing, sports events. And so, Glenn, tell us a little bit about yourself and why are you involved in this organization and this initiative?
Well, thank you so much. The first reason I'm involved is because I really believe in the project, and I agree with both you and Thomas that it's about the kids, and especially helping undeserved kids. And that's what I've been with Zord Sports for 6 years now. Zords is a cutting edge sports management platform that has innovated a lot in protecting the integrity of these sports, which I'll get to. My background is I was in television advertising sales for over 25 years, both on the sports sponsorship level and also political advertising sales. I worked for Cox Media as their vice president, handling political for the entire country. I was director of political advertising for the entire country. And then with Comcast, from 2015 to 2018, I was the West Coast political sales director. But for a lot of my career, I was sports sponsorship, multi-million-dollar deals with the LA Marathon, Dodgers, Giants, all different teams. I was in network sales for the original XFL, the football league, and got to know Vince pretty well, and Stephanie, his daughter, who I was pretty close to at the time, and that was a great experience, and working with some big brands and things like that. So Thomas and I have started talking, I guess, probably about 4 years ago,
Yeah.
right? At least 4 years ago, and I was always very impressed with his vision, and we are on the same page as far as helping kids. And when Thomas told me this idea, I wanted to jump on board and do whatever I could do. And as far as the Zords platform being involved, it's we were the first sports management platform to integrate player verification cards 4 years ago, which has significantly cut down on youth age-based cheating in sports, which unfortunately is a big deal. Weekly, we still see numerous attempts at doctoring government documents, which is unfortunate. Then about a year and a half ago, we introduced coaches cards as well, coaches verification cards. We have a full-time staff that goes through these cards. And then about 4 months ago, we rolled out in a test basis, and we're rolling it out all over the place, our new Flash facial recognition product, Flash Biometrics, which what that does is it totally changes the game as far as streamlining check-in processes for leagues and tournaments. It's passive on the attendees' part. We just scan the photo that we already have, the headshot that we already have, and it tells you what team they're on, what division, that they're eligible, that they signed all their waivers. And then it's great also, and it's unfortunate that I even have to say this, but we've used it a number of times at different events, and our partners have as well, where during the playoff rounds of an event, doing a sideline roster check before the games, and I can count on two hands how many times, like, oh, this player is not on this team, but they try to sneak them in. So it's unfortunate, and we just want a level playing field. We don't want an 18-year-old kid playing in a 14 and under division. It's dangerous and it's unethical. And so, we're really at the forefront of that. But Zorts is all about customer service and relationships. And I built some incredible relationships since I joined Zorts in 2019. We had 2 clients when I joined. And, the mission that I was assigned was to grow the business. And we're now up to, anybody can go on and create an event at Zorts. We do not charge to use our platform. We do a revenue share back with the player card so our partners can. It's something that I'm proud to be a part of. And when I joined the company, I was employee number 5, and now we're 33 employees. So we've grown tremendously, which is great. I'm honored to be a part of Legends to Legacy and helping to really spread the word and blow what we're trying to do up, really give as many kids deserving kids from underserved communities the opportunity to succeed and excel and be seen.
Right. That's awesome, Glenn. And I can say, as someone who's been in the background for the last few years, and even as I begin to introduce Brandon, these individuals are committed to this work, right? And so there's something, you can have a transactional experience, but I can say, as someone who's been a little bit on the outside, I can see that all of you and the team at Legends is committed to the work of supporting students. And so thank you, Glenn, for that. And so let's turn to Brandon. And Brandon, you are the director of sports. You have an extensive background in training and developing of student athletes. And so could you tell us a little bit about your background, number one, and then number two, what your vision is in terms of the grit versus grind showcase and what that's going to look like to give sort of the coaches, the families, and the parents a vision of what the students can expect?
Little background on myself. I'm from Toledo, Ohio, born and raised. I'm still here. I played football at the University of Toledo. Played some arena football. I actually played arena football with Nick Sirianni, the Eagles head coach. We played arena football together in camp. It's a long time ago.
Go Eagles, go ahead.
Yes, go Birds. Definitely go Birds. I am an Eagles fan too, by the way, so it just all worked out. And after that, I started coaching high school football. I think I was 23 when I started coaching high school football. I've been coaching ever since. Coached at some private schools as an assistant coach at some public schools too. I just got my first head coaching job 2 years ago. I just finished up my second year this year. We set the school record. My first year coaching with wins, we went 11-2, and then this past season we went 10-2, lost in the regional semifinals. I got a kid at Columbia playing linebacker, a kid at Princeton. We got a kicker at Toledo. We got a tight end at Davidson. I'm missing somebody. We got another kid at a small D3 school in Indiana, and then we got 2 kids off of this year's team that'll be going. One's going to school in Minnesota, and another one's going to school in Columbus at Ohio Wesleyan to play football to continue their careers. Outside of coaching, I own a sports company. It's called Elite Athletics Academy. Started that in 2014. I started that with my nephew, Jalil Carter. He played in the NFL. He played in the CFL. He won the 100th Cup up there. We just really wanted to, and it kind of matches up with what Thomas does and his ideas. It was just a matter of we wanted to do some things in the community for our kids, for our youth, and just kind of help mentor them and guide them, because we didn't really have that going through all of these processes. So that was the reason that we started it, and it's been great ever since. We currently have, I think we have 4 guys in the NFL right now. We've got one with the Bengals, one with the Colts, one with the Eagles actually, and one with the Giants. So we've done a good job with training guys and stuff like that. But it's not just the training side of it. It's more the mentorship side of it. Still talk to those guys all the time. They ask for advice. And even like when they were going through their process of transitioning, whether it was from high school to college or college to the NFL, was right there with them. So that's the services that we provide. It's just that we'll help screen agents, we'll help do whatever it is that those parents had questions about, because my nephew, I went through with him through the process, and then obviously the other guys that came through. So it's just a matter of being able to be a resource for these people and just helping them out along the process. So I go to the combine every year, minus the last 2 years I didn't go. But even doing that, it was a matter of I knew I was going to have guys that was going to be coming to the NFL. So I just kind of wanted to go and see what the roadmap looked like. So I made friends with guys at shoe companies, agents, scouts, GMs, and stuff like that too, just to enhance my network and just to be able to sit in the room with those guys and kind of see how everything works. So when the parents and their kids are going through the process, I would have some type of answers for them, so they just not in the blue. And if somebody was selling you a dream or if somebody was really telling you the truth. So that's really what it was. It was just like that bridge for those guys to kind of meet halfway with the situation that they were in, and just being able, like I said, being a resource for them was the main thing. So that's kind of what I do in a nutshell. I met Thomas. We were actually Orlando, right? I think it was that Orlando? We were
Yes,
at Orlando. Yeah, at,
USA Football
yeah,
Conference. Yes.
USA Football Conference, and he been my guy ever since, man. I can't even remember what year that's been. There's been so much stuff going on, but we got to talking, and he was working with another company at the time. He actually ended up bringing me in to coach and do some stuff in that for that company that he previously worked for. But I just knew, honestly, like with him, I knew that it was something bigger for Thomas, and I always told him that too. And it was just like he always pushed me, and I obviously pushed him to make him better, and vice versa. And it's like here we are today. When he came to me with this idea, I was like, dude, exactly. I know I got a busy, crazy schedule just like we all do, but I'm like, hey, whatever I can do, I'm a resource, so I'll definitely do whatever I can to help you out. So once everything started falling into pieces or together, I was like, hey, let's do it, man. So I'm here. Like I said, I got a lot of resources, a lot of contacts with different things. So I'm definitely going to be able to help out in that aspect of things. As far as like my title and my job with Legends of Legacy, I obviously will help make sure that we find the best coaches and the best kids that fit what we want to do, not just grabbing guys just to get bodies in the places, but we want people that share the same vision that we do. That way they'll reiterate the message that we send it. So it's just a matter of making sure that we get the right fit of people, kids, parents, and stuff like that to be on board with us, because we're not for everybody, and I'm sure Thomas will tell you that. So it's just a matter of it'll be my job to help screen and weed out the people that shouldn't be here, and definitely make sure that we have the people here with us that share the same vision and ideas and goals that we do as well.
Yeah. I think that is a perfect way to end that segment. Thank you for sharing your expertise. This gives us a snapshot of what participants and parents and coaches can expect when it comes to the Game of the Americas All-American. So now we are going to connect with some amazing individuals. There is no way that an organization can host an amazing event without a premier partner. And for that, we are excited to introduce to some and share with others our host city and our university partnership. Again, we're trying to do things again differently and holistic. And so I am thrilled to invite the city of Monroe. And so we have a couple of people actually that we want to make sure that we highlight and can talk with us and tell us about what we can expect when we come to Louisiana. So first up, we're going to bring up Scott Bruscato. If I said that incorrectly, correct me. You good? Okay. So Scott is Executive Vice President with Discover Monroe, West Monroe. And again, I'm going to tell you again, as someone who's been a little bit of an outsider, when I tell you all that this city has been committed from the beginning, asking questions, following up, diligent in their feedback, in their response, it has been amazing to watch as someone who's a little bit outside of the operations between Thomas and Glenn and Brandon. So I want to give a hats off first to the city for their commitment, I would love to hear from you, Scott. As you think about hosting events, and this particular event in particular, how do you go about promoting, selecting, identifying, in organizations and events that you select? And then secondly, from your seat, what can our guests expect when they come to this event?
Yeah. Oh, hey, Lynn, first of all, just thank you for having me on, and I certainly appreciate the time to discuss our cities and give you a little bit of a snapshot of who we are. But again, I think when you talk about events like this, it's not, you can host events, right? You can go to any city, USA, and do things like that, but it's a partnership. And when Thomas reached out to me, I felt it immediately. I felt the synergy that he had for this event, the vision he had, and I think that's just something that we wanted to latch on to and be a part of. So, how do we come about to be a part of it? Again, I just would give a tip of a hat to Thomas and his vision and him sharing that with me. We reached back out to each other, I guess, starting back in mid-November, and had some follow-up phone calls. And each time there was just a bit more excitement every time, right? It was just a little bit of a, hey, this can happen. And he was trying to, I think he felt like he had to sell me on the vision a little bit. And I don't know that was necessary, but I do appreciate it. When you get back to Monroe in West Monroe, Louisiana, we have to, we're going to roll out the red carpet. We've got great partners. We've got the city of Monroe on board. We've got the University of Louisiana Monroe on board. We're going to do our, athlete check-in and some of our parent meetings and athlete meetings over at our brand new West Monroe Sports and Events facility. So it really is encompassing all parts of the cities, and we're parishes here and instead of counties, but it really takes in all parts of both cities, and it is, like I said earlier, it's just a true part. When the athletes get here, when the coaches get here, when their parents get here, their spectators, they're going to see two cities that are welcoming, that want them here. And that's the first key, right? We got great facilities, but we want them here. We want them to be part of our city. They're going to have great experiences, whether it be culturally, whether we go to Black Bayou National Wildlife, where we take them over to Bighorn, which the first bottler of Coca-Cola has a museum right off campus or nearby campus. And we've got Chennault Aviation Military Museum. Again, just have great folks that they're integral parts of our history that now we can share to the world, so to speak. So again, we're just excited to share those experiences, whether it be culturally or our food and that sort of thing. I think we're pretty fired up about getting to share. We're in Louisiana. We're always what's up for dinner next, right? What are we going to eat next is what we're worried about. So again, we're pretty excited about it. I kind of gave a very long-winded answer. I hope I answered your question, but
no, that was perfect. That was perfect. That was perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for your commitment to hospitality, right? And to welcoming. And so I think when we think about bringing these students and these athletes and their families in, I love what you said about providing exposure and information and access and resources to things that maybe we wouldn't even ever see, right? And so I think that, again, that speaks to the holistic experience. And so thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's transition to sort of a part of my heart, higher education. And so we want to do a special welcome and, of course, a shout out to Lisa Miller. She is a vice president with the University of Louisiana Monroe. And they are going to be the host location for the event. This is huge. This is huge. And so again, I feel like this is like, oh, thank you everybody. But this is amazing, right? We're going to give our students exposure, access. And so, Lisa, tell us a little bit about yourself, the work that you're doing at the university. This is going to provide, again, students access and information. So talk to us about what you're expecting and what we can expect when we come to the University of Louisiana Monroe.
Well, first of all, I want to say it's great to be a part of this, and y'all's passion for this is contagious, and we love that. And I can just tell you, when you leave Monroe and you have been here, it will be an experience that the students will never forget, and their parents. We offer first-class hospitality here in Monroe. I currently serve as the vice president, as you said, for enrollment management and university relations. So that encompasses a lot of areas. Obviously, all the things that pertain to enrollment management, including the recruitment and admissions process, and then the financial aid and scholarship part, which is maybe more important than the admission process, is making the students understand how the financial aid works, that all students that we admit to the university have opportunity for dollars to support their education, that many of them are unaware of. I'm also involved with the university relations part, which is the marketing part of the institution, which means that I want to ensure that every person who walks on our campus has a great experience. But I will also tell you that this is my 40th year in education. So I understand when you got a big smile on your face that said you're passionate about higher education. I started as a teacher in junior high and then a counselor in high school. And then about 23 years ago, I moved over to the higher education side. And part of our mission at the University of Louisiana Monroe is to eradicate poverty in our area. And in the Monroe, Ouachita Parish, Northeast Louisiana, our primary region that we serve, it is one of the highest poverty rates per capita in the country. And we know that often students never hear about a university. Even our local students may not have ever stepped foot on our campus, may not even know that there is an opportunity for them to attend. Often students who have talents, as I heard y'all mention, students that you see very young who have the ability to really go on and participate in collegiate sports, but don't know how to navigate that very complex system, including just registering with the clearinghouse. They're unaware of those things. And so your program is going to touch the lives of so many people. Our university serves over 8,700 students. We have students from 45 countries and 47 states. We're a very diverse population. Over 35% of our students are eligible for Pell. So those of you who are familiar with that, that means the Pell Grant is a free grant for our students who qualify that helps make the college affordable for them. It's monies they never have to pay back. We can combine that with all different types of aid to ensure that a student doesn't have that burden that follows them the rest of their lives. I also want to speak to something that y'all talked about earlier about students having all different types of gifts. I'm a huge fan of Howard Gardner, who is a theorist who believes that people have multiple intelligences and that all of them are equal. And many of these students' major intelligence is bodily kinesiology. That to pursue that path, they have to also work on those other things that they may struggle with. The verbal language, the mathematic language, that they need to at least be at a sufficient level, a satisfactory level, so that they can pursue their passion. And, you know, I think sometimes student athletes earn a reputation, unfortunately, that that's the only thing they're good at. And that's certainly not true. Sometimes that is just their natural ability, but they have multiple intelligences that a program like this is going to help them realize. I'm so happy to hear that the parents are a huge part of this, because they need that guidance. You know that if one person believes in a student, whether it be a parent or a coach, that's that one impetus they need to reach that next level. I'm very hopeful, and I believe this because we have a very altruistic student population. Our students are going to get behind this and be a part of it, and they love participating with events like this. As I heard y'all all introduce yourselves and you talked about your busy schedules, the one thing I heard was servant leaders. All of you are servant leaders and committed to making a difference in students' lives. You talked about travel ball, Thomas. A lot of these students might not have an opportunity to participate in travel ball, and therefore they get left behind. And so how can we make a pathway for them and make them understand just staying in school, doing what they're supposed to do, participating in those sports that are afforded to them at their school can open so many doors for them. So I know that was a long-winded answer, but as I said, y'all's passion is contagious, and you're talking about when we have an opportunity to bring underserved populations to our university and show them how an education can change their life. That's what we're committed to. So we want to thank you for considering us to be a part of such an awesome an awesome opportunity for these students.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Oh,
So thank you. I think we're all connected here, which makes for
some kind of
great,
way,
yes,
right?
some great work here. And so I also see Sheila Snow, and I don't want to not have her. I'm not sure if she's going to jump in, but I want to make sure that we give her time to talk if she wanted to say anything. But if not, what we'll do is we will first say a huge thank you, Scott, Lisa, Sheila, um, City of Monroe, West Monroe. Am I saying that right? City of Monroe, West Monroe. Just thank you for your commitment, for your leadership in this space. We want to do things that are impactful for students, and we also want to be innovative as we can, right? And so we want to impact lives. And so it sounds like we are on a really, really amazing path to making that happen. We have an amazing guest who's also going to talk with us about this wonderful city and again, what we can expect from the mayor's perspective and what our guests can expect. And we also always want to start out with a moment of gratitude for you all's generosity. And so to that end, let's turn it over to the mayor and tell us all about the city from your perspective. And again, what our guests can expect when we come down to visit.
Yeah, thank you. And I appreciate this opportunity to come and speak with you today and talk to you about what you can expect when you come to Monroe. I think Lisa had framed it well. We are a very welcoming city. We are in Northeast Louisiana, just nestled in the heart of the Mississippi Delta. And so we're a historic riverfront community that has built titans, like Lisa had mentioned, or Scott, where Coke was first bottled. We're the home of Delta Airlines and the home of Lumen Technologies. And so we've built titans, and we've got world-class, athletes and scholars and folks that have come from this rich soil in a place that we call home. And I think there are no finer people. I guess every mayor is biased. But your folks you'll come into Monroe and be welcomed with open arms. You're not going to find a more beautiful campus and more beautiful people who run that campus than ULM. When they say the best is on the bayou, again, I may be a little biased, but no finer people and no finer hosts. I am a parent of a diverse learner, and so my heart goes out to your mission and exposing young athletes to a future that they may not have seen. Walk on campus, talking to administrators, talking to students, letting them understand. And I guarantee you they will meet someone just like them. Or maybe someone maybe from their hometown that's at a university now and opening their future. Because in the end, as we say, they're student athletes, and students come first. And sports will take you so far, but it's the lifelong learning journey is what's going to carry you the extra mile. And so there's no better university that does it better. As far as our city, I hope your students don't have a weight class, because they'll definitely exceed that once they get here and start eating the good food at our restaurants. And so you'll be able to do that. We have tons of things to do just outside of campus, outside of our public parks, our museums, just beautiful places to see and visit here. Lots of outdoor activities. And we do have a sister city in West Monroe that we work well with, and they have a wonderful downtown and lots of places to shop and see and do and experience there. And so again, a lot of times when you think of Louisiana, you don't always think of Northeast Louisiana. But I always say we don't want to be the best kept secret anymore. And when folks come here, they leave, they talk about us, and they realize that the time that they had here was special and it was great. And I'm just glad to be that our city can host you. I'm so happy to know that you'll be there at the university and on campus with some great people. And every single one of us here, we all work great together, and we work together. And you're right, your families will have great experiences here within the city. I'm always here. Our staff's always here with anything that you need. Never fail to reach out. And we're just so happy that you chose Monroe.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mayor Ellis. We're ready to go. We're ready to get down there after that welcome. And I will say this: we, number one, thank you for your graciousness. Number two, we will join you in that mission to not be the second best kept secret anymore. So we will join your mission for that. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for just your energy and enthusiasm. It means a lot to all of us. It will mean a lot to all of our guests as we come down to visit. So thank you.
Lynn, I didn't know if I saw my comment I just made. Super proud of Will Campbell, drafted fourth last night. Grew up here in the city of Monroe. Went to Neville High School, which is also here in Monroe. So super proud of Will Campbell. There may be some other kids that I'm not familiar with that might get drafted throughout tonight and tomorrow, but super proud of Will Campbell, offensive tackle from LSU.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Hi, my name is Vincent Johnson, owner and operator of True Potential Coaching, and also a defensive back coach for the University of Regina here in Saskatchewan, Canada. I'm honored to partner with the Legend and Legacy Foundation with their event happening in West Monroe, Louisiana, to bring youth DISC and flight assessment behavioral analysis to our young people, parents, and coaches. I'm looking forward to working with our athletes, parents, and coaches to help them understand who they are and the superpower that they have, but more importantly, also getting everyone to understand their blind spots and the potential for growth in these different areas. I look forward to meeting everyone, working with everyone, and actually, enjoying the event and growing with everyone as well. So, look forward to meeting you in person. Have a wonderful day. God bless.
Hi, I'm Alana Cooper. I'm the President and CEO of Discover Monroe West Monroe. We are so excited to have the opportunity to host the Game of the Americas here in Monroe West Monroe. We are looking forward to having the All-American Bowl football showcase on ULM campus. It will be featured at Malone Stadium. There will be events from December the 27th to the showcase on December the 31st. This is a great opportunity for students to come and showcase their football abilities, and we're looking forward to seeing some of the best in the country here in Monroe West Monroe. We want to thank Thomas Epps with Legends to Legacy Foundation for bringing the Games of the Americas to Monroe West Monroe. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you all in December.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to go back and piggyback on something Scott was talking about in the choosing of Monroe. And I must say it was Mike Slonick that he was the champion of Monroe. Monroe wasn't on the radar, and I remember he fought so hard, like Thomas, hey, you got to take a look at this place. I was like, really, Monroe? Never heard of it. But I've heard of I heard of the university, and as I took a look, and when I first spoke with you, I felt the synergy, and I remember going back and telling my wife, "Hey, I think I found a home," and it was just those ongoing talks and the talks between yourself and Michael, and just if Michael's not able to be here on this announcement conference today, but he once again he's been instrumental into carrying the vision forward. He does a lot of great things. He serves as national commissioner of Babe Ruth baseball. So once again, for everyone that's out there listening to this episode of the Crossroads where life and sports intersect, you can see the amount of experience that we've been able to be in community with and putting this organization together. It's not just Thomas. It's a lot of people that are making this happen, and some could not be here today. I just wanted to mention real quick before we go to break, someone like Antoinette Tony, who's responsible for putting out those initial graphics that I was able to get over to Scott, and he was able to see every time I needed something. Antoinette was there. Steve Hackney, who's a certified sports agent and NIL advisor for Maven Sports Group, which is owned by Cash Money Records right there in that South City that actually Monroe's better than in New Orleans. So there's a Louisiana connection to there, and actually he's flying to New Orleans today to meet with a client that's getting drafted. So shout out Steve. While we have Crystal Book Crystal Brooks, who's our financial officer. She does a lot of connecting the dots with connecting us to financial entities to help with our financial literacy piece because wealth management and financial literacy is key. Everybody wants to know either how do I keep my money, manage my money, or how can I grow 15 cents into a dollar. So Crystal was helping us connect the dots, with that piece. So there's a lot of things that are going on. I described the organization like one giant jigsaw puzzle that was thrown onto the table, and from corner to corner to corner, and working ourselves to the middle to make it all come together. And that's how we got here today. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to close this segment out. We're going to go to break, and we'll be right back with our educational partner. And once again, you're live at the crossroads where life and sports intersect.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Scott and Sheila. Or Austin.
No, Austin is one of the. He's gonna be. Man, I can't wait to have this conversation with Austin. He represents our fundraising partner, Team Up. So when we talk about social economic disadvantage, uh, youth out there, and even for ones that have means. What we plan to do with that is unique, and I can't wait to speak with Austin and learn more, and have the audience learn more about what he does. And I see also that we have Dr. Manny and Bridget on the line, our education partners, and this is something unique. And wow, I really wanted to emphasize this in putting together the vision of Legend to Legacy because, student athlete is everything. You can't be an athlete without the student. It has to go hand in hand. And being a good student in the classroom, I feel elevates your play on the field because this is a level of competing. If you're competing on the field, you're competing in the classroom, and I see in America and worldwide, education is now moving from the brick and mortar type of structure, and it's going virtual, and a lot of parents are making the transition to virtual learning. And for myself, I was searching for the best possible partner to partner with the organization to help us move us forward. Because once again, we're all about resources and connecting the dots for our future student athletes that will come from across America, from Canada, from Mexico. And this school organization has that reach. It has the infrastructure. It has the means. It's been doing it for a long time, has the track record. So I'm going to turn it back over to Lynn because once again, Lynn, I can go on and on and on. So I want to slow this thing down so we can introduce them properly. And Lynn, go ahead and take it away. And once again, listen to the Crossroads with Life and Sports Intersect.
Okay, well, you actually did all the introduction, so that was amazing. So what we can do actually is, we've talked about the organization founders and partners. We've talked about the cities and the location and where we're headed. The universities are partners. So now we want to talk about our strategic partners. And so one of those strategic partners, similar to what Thomas just said, is Laurel Springs. And so I would love to we have Dr. Manny on the call and then also Bridget to really tell us about Laurel Springs. Tell us about the school, tell us about your vision, and tell us about, even in detail as you can, about supporting the student athlete, because you have a very unique educational experience. And when I heard about it and I learned about it, I was like, this is amazing. So tell us, let's talk about your program and what students and people who may not even know about this type of program, the access and the resource that you provide.
Thank you so much for inviting both of us to be here today. We're very pleased to be able to to bring Laurel Springs, to share more information and outreach with your families, because, we've been around for 30 years. Laurel Springs has been here since 1991 as a distance learning program prior to the internet. And we still hear each day that I didn't know about Laurel Springs. I didn't know that we could have the flexibility of doing our school online and on our own schedule and on our own terms. So students don't have to compromise a world-class education to pursue athletics, to seek out that flexible schedule that so much allows them to pursue their passions outside of the traditional brick and mortar. And so we have been supporting student athletes for many years. About 35% of our student body are student athletes. And because of that, we have been able to really focus our programs to ensure that we're not only creating that flexible space for them to excel on the field, but also not compromise top level schools. If they have, big dreams of elite schools, we have students, going there. Over 600 universities in the past 4 years we've had students matriculate to, from Ivy League's Division I schools and across, into Europe and beyond. So many opportunities exist here for student athletes, for sure.
Yeah, just to echo down, break down a little bit what Bridget said is, I think we're now living in a day and age where, these kids need options, right? These kids have different needs in terms of, you're trying to pursue their passions as student athletes. And the fact is they can't all be in the classroom from, 8 to 4, 8 to 5, like we normally have them at. So, the beautiful thing about Laurel Springs is that we cater to the needs of those student athletes, or those individuals that might need more time with their coaches, might need more time with, more of the mental preparation side of things, right? So, or they travel a lot, whether it's Spain, France, Canada. We have, for example, different tennis partners in Spain, right? We have a golf partner in India, right? And again, those kids, those institutions want to partner with Laurel Springs because we're able to provide and cater for the academic needs from a curriculum standpoint as well. And then again, kind of what Bridget said, for us, when you have a school or a situation where 80% of your class of 2024 end up to their first choice of college, right, then it kind of shows that we're doing something right. So, but yeah, again, it's just not even a sports perspective. We're really for everybody that wants a unique lifestyle or needs more flexibility in their daily routine. And they know, for example, that it might be difficult to be in a physical space.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I want to be mindful, Thomas, you can keep me on track here, but I do want to be, one of the things that I really admired when we had our first conversation, Thomas and Dr. Manny and I heard about the types of the academics. And so if you could speak just quickly to the rigor, right? Mm-hmm. Because sometimes people make assumptions one way or the other. And so I think it'd be helpful to hear about the rigor of your programs, but then, and also the customization. You talked on that a little bit. So I think there's something, when I think about schools and the online opportunities, to me, those stand out as distinguishing factors for your program, right? So could you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So Laurel Springs is recognized by the Board of Education in the state of California as a private school. So we offer over 200 course options that include honors, advanced placement. We also, of course, NCAA approved as well as UC approved course curriculum. So we also offer dual enrollment opportunities through universities Syracuse and Baylor. So for students who want to earn college credit while they are in high school, have an opportunity through our dual enrollment program. So we, following that private school curriculum, there is great rigor there. So students, pursuing higher level athletic performance, they can certainly pursue a higher academic level of performance with Laurel Springs. So our science courses include labs. It's very much what students are experiencing in terms of rigor of curriculum at other top private schools, there's no compromise with the level of courses. And like I said, over 200 approved curriculum courses with nearly 100 electives alone. So if they have a goal to complete AP calculus while in high school, that's available to them. We also are one of the only online schools that offer the AP Capstone Diploma program. So students who want to pursue AP seminar and research courses to earn that AP Capstone program or that endorsement through the College Board on their transcript, they may do that through Laurel Springs. So there's certainly no compromise to the rigor and level of academics.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and just to follow on that, sorry, there's a noise out here. Yeah, just to echo what Bridget said as well. I think a sign of or a good indicator of a school really comes to the outcomes. Where do these kids end up going, right? Because the whole point is they come to school, but at the end of the day, when they graduate, there's more opportunities for them to advance, right? So when what I said earlier, when you have a school that 80% of your class of 600 kids are actually going to the first choice of college, I think that speaks volume as to the rigor and what these kids have to go through, right? And then when I looking at the numbers in terms of like where some of our kids have gone through in the last 3 or 4 years, for example, Arizona State, we've had like 22 of our kids actually matriculate there. We talk about Fordham University, we've had 10 kids matriculate there over the last 3 years, right? So what we do is we create an opportunity and a pipeline for these kids, irrespective of the school or the location that they want to go to actually pursue their dreams and actually have a higher chance of actually gaining admission to those schools that they want to go to.
Right. That is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And we are thankful and grateful to you for partnering with us, for becoming a strategic partner, because we believe, obviously, all of us together, that we can share this information to even more people who may not know, and provide even more opportunities. That's really a part of the partnership and the synergy around providing this experience or this information to those who may not be aware, who just don't even know that this option is on the table. And so thank you for that. Thank you for your commitment. We certainly look forward to growing together with you all. And then just as we close this segment out, do you want to give your website or anything for people who might be listening to this and want to contact you now? Not, they'll see you in a few months, but they want to contact you now. How can they get in touch with you?
Yes, so laurelsprings.com. There is many ways to connect with us. So we have contact and application forms on virtually every page of our website. We also have live virtual open houses throughout each month, where those are conducted by our head of school, our education staff, our admissions team. So you can actually hear from our head of school and meet teachers and be able to ask questions. And like I said, laurelsprings.com, click the contact us form. Our admissions team is highly, very well versed when it comes to all of our programs and happy to connect with families.
Yeah. Coach Thomas, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to go back and piggyback. First, I'd like to thank Laurel Springs, and once again, I'm super excited and pumped about this aspect of the company and connecting with such a supreme educational partner. And I want to mention also for all the listeners that Laurel Springs is an opportunity for students K through 12. Our demographics right now, we serve student athletes second through 8th. So you can join at the elementary school level, middle school level, and as you matriculate from middle school to high school, they could be part of your lives as well. And they have the support and the staff to really support everything that you do. And I was speaking with Dr. Manny, and he was talking about the kits and everything that they send out for for science. And we were talking about STEM, and how passionate I am about STEM and technology, because in high school sports, college sports, and in the NFL, across all leagues around the world, you see technology being used. So to be on the front end and actually not only know how to use the technology, but know how to understand the coding and everything that goes into it, mathematics, and brings out critical thinking. And that's something that's paramount for student athletes, especially in football, because you want to be able to problem solve and analyze things um, real fast. 'Cause everything happens in seconds, but you're still processing in slow motion. And I believe that mathematics and STEM are key to that. Okay, so can you guys speak to that real quick?
Yeah, before I let Bridget kind of echo on that, again, I want to say, like, I think we're in a day and age that we have to make as many resources available for these kids. And, when I first came, people always ask, but you guys, how do you do the science bit or the biology or, the experiments and all that great stuff? And we always tell them, like, again, we're creative. What we do is we send lab kits to, the students in their different locations. And what they're able to do is they're able to take pictures or record a video sample of how they got to like a final experiment of some sort, and then they're able to upload that into the system, and then they get the grade from the teachers, right? So that's the one of the unique things about Lower Spring is that, like, we really cater and find ways to make it work for that student. And then Bridget, you want to elaborate on a little bit, please?
Yes, yes. And behind the scenes of Laurel Springs is an amazing education and curriculum team who that is their job first and foremost, is to always understand what's cutting edge, what are the trends, so that we are working and aligning with companies that for those lab kits. So for example, an AP chemistry or an AP physics student, they're getting top of the line lab kit, what's available to students sent to them to be able to recreate labs within their own kitchens, or outside, or creating their own lab spaces. That there's no loss in the experience or loss of learning, and due to the fact that our education team works very hard and diligently to ensure that what we are providing our students is at the top of the line and available.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. I'm sorry, Lynn. Did I step on you, work? Oh, okay. Thank you for that. And once again, I just wanted to the listeners to hear that, because, like Dr. Manning was saying, how is it going to be done? What does that look like? And you guys have did a great job of spelling that out and giving everyone a visual that's out there that will be out there listening to this. So we're going to go ahead and close out this segment and go to break. And when we come back, we're going to hear from Austin and Stacy of Team Up, and they're our fundraising partner. And I can't wait for everyone to hear this amazing opportunity that we are providing for all of our families can take part in this. And they got really something special brewing up there that the world doesn't know about, and we're about to introduce it to them. So once again, you're listening to The Crossroads, where life and sports intersect. We'll be right back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right now, we have our fundraising partner, Team Up, and I'm going to turn it back over to our co-host, COO of Legends to Legacy Sports Foundation, Lynn Epps. Go ahead.
All righty, so I am excited because I haven't had that much about it. I've heard some of the background about the conversations, but I am excited to hear about Team Up. We're excited to welcome Austin Lynn and Stacy. Is it Stibe or Stib?
Stibby.
Stibby. Okay, sorry.
Nope,
Stacy, Stibby. I got it now. And they are with the amazing platform Team Up. And what I love about this opportunity is that you are on a mission, as we are. We don't want anyone to miss out on this because of a lack of financial resources. Full stop. That's it. And so you are providing an access and an opportunity to make that happen for us and even for other organizations who might be trying to do the same. So tell us all about Team Up, who you are, what you do, how you can help remove barriers for those who might have them financially, to help them be in, to allow for the parents and the student athletes to take full advantage of these experiences.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, first off, thank you guys for having us. That was an awesome introduction. So I'm Austin. This is Stacy. We're from Team Up, and there are a few different ways that Team Up can be utilized. I will say primarily what we do is we set up and run what we call Team Up events. We work with primarily middle school, high school, and college sports teams. However, we work with music groups, national organizations, really any sort of group that could use any extra funding for whatever they need. And during these events, it's really fun. We work with, and I'm going to use athletes because that's primarily what we work with. But we work with the athletes for about an hour, and we really get them focused on working together as a team for the common goal, just like they do all season long. Winning state, winning the championship, winning the game. Except our common goal is raising money for something that they might need. Now we get all the athletes involved, and we ultimately coach them up on how to effectively make a phone call asking for support from family and friends. And I'm sure you guys are probably thinking getting high school kids or kids to actually talk to people on the phone can be a challenge, but that's part of our job. And realistically, whatever these athletes do in the future, they're going to have to know how to communicate with people, right? Whether they want to play at the next level, they want to get a good job in the future, whatever they do, they're going to have to know how to communicate. And we do some things throughout the event too to make it more team building as well. The whole event is high energy, it's interactive, and something the athletes really thrive on is the competition aspect. We gamify our events. So we've created a live scoreboard that we use throughout the event. And if you can picture it, the athletes walk in the room, they see their name up on the scoreboard, they're put on different teams and competing against their friends on the other team. And every time someone supports them, they earn points for their team. And we provide some goodies like some donuts and snacks and drinks and liquid gold, you could say, to kids, and use that as an extra motivation tool. So the events that we do, they take an hour, and as far as what supporters are given as options to actually support you guys, they can either simply make a donation, they can purchase a customizable digital coupon book that can be created for whatever city they live in the United States or Canada, which is kind of cool, or a national digital coupon book. So that's primarily what we do, and we're proud to partner with Legend to Legacy Foundation, and we are other way that we're kind of working on it is this gives us the opportunity to have each athlete, based on wherever they live, they can still create an account and they can promote their own link to anyone in the United States or Canada. So if they have folks that live across the country or right in their city, they can still have them support them.
That's perfect, Austin. And the whole idea with just some of the conversations that I was listening to prior to this is giving every student the opportunity to not have to miss out on anything if they can just get a little bit of help financially.
Right.
And whether we get to do it in a big event as Austin was saying, which is our favorite way and probably the most profitable way, but it also works if there are just students across the country. We can send them a link, they can create their account, and then we can hold little 10 to 20 minute sessions to just coach them a little bit if they want on how to be super effective with sending a link and getting people to respond. And that's that life skill that we're really passionate about that Austin was mentioning, is just a little bit of guidance on what to say, how to say it. We have a script, we have this link, of course, and ultimately it just simplifies the whole process of raising money. We try to make it fun, and it's set up so that anyone can do it across the country right from the comfort of their own home if they so choose.
And well, and I was going to say one thing to mention too is it's there's no any sort of product to handle or checks to collect. Kids aren't going door to door. or shipping out a dozen different pizzas to grandmas and grandpas and things like that. So it really simplifies that whole process.
Look, as you were saying that, I remember we had 2 student athletes when our kids were in high school. We did candles, we did cheesecakes, we
Oh my
did
God, not the cheesecake.
pizza. we half the stuff you can't eat. And so we did a lot. We've done all the things. And so
Yep.
the idea of a customized, right, and this whole Netflix make your own thing
Yep.
generation, that it's a great way to support, have students be able to garner support. What I also love as an educator is the life skills. Those you can take with you from now, through college and further on. Do you have? And I know we're
Coming up on the
getting ready-
time.
coming up on the time here. I would love to hear if you could share any of your a success story, something that you're proud of, or that you were one of your best practices or experiences. If you worked with this team and this was the result, or can you give us any insight into when it went really well in terms of partnering with Team Up?
Yeah, I would love to share a virtual event we just held, and it was just seven athletes. Love the Game Elite out of Richmond, Virginia, I believe. And the head coach had called, and he had these 7 kids that were on this team, and they had advanced to a tournament they didn't think they were going to advance to. We got an event for 1 hour, and the guys got in there, and they looked like they didn't know what was happening. But the salesperson that was there helping had brought in some little treats, if you will, liquid gold, to reward them for effort. We started just with effort because we could tell it was cold. We're like, you know what? We're going to reward you just for trying, even if you don't sell a thing. Well, those boys, those young men, got on the phone. They were willing to do it to win, whether it was a donut. I don't know all the things. But in the game clock started, they started calling. They were so good at it. We ended up sending them a check for almost $1,800 after the event. 7 kids.
Wow.
And the point of the story there was it was so fun to see them go from kind of, I don't know about this, to going, okay. And then they took it even a step further, got really, really good at it.
Right.
Pretty soon they were just nailing it.
Exactly, because what you're doing is you are helping them overcome their fears. Because usually it's not that they don't believe in it or they don't want it. It's usually because people are afraid. And so by creating the environment of, hey, let's focus on the effort, not the output, because the output is out of our control. Well, what we can control is what we put in. Anyway, love that. So is there anything else you want to share with us as we wrap up in terms of Team Up? I know we're going to be continuing conversations with you. We'll definitely be working. We do want to thank you for seeing the vision of Legends to Legacy, and then also for your commitment to partner with us. We are excited to work with y'all or with your organization. So
I think just how to contact us, like you were saying, if somebody watches this and says, hey, we want to get more info right now, our website is teamupevent.com, and there's a form on there that they can fill out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Stacy. We are excited.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. We're looking forward to partnership as well.
Yeah. Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, Coach Thomas.
That's right.
I'm going to turn it back over to you. We are for closing thoughts, and final thoughts, and.
Well, I'm over here really pumped up, and I was so nervous about this in the beginning in putting together this announcement press conference for the Game of the Americas All-American Bowl Week that features the grit versus grind game grades 2nd through 7th, and then our premier feature event, the Next Up Elite 8th grade showcase game, which features some of the top 8th graders from around the country, United States and Mexico, coming to this event. And building this out, I wanted to have the perfect platform for our student athletes, families, coaches, and everyone to be involved with and thrive. And after hearing this, and that was just some of our strategic partners. Others will have a ongoing virtual series on this because, like I said in the beginning, this is a master class and it will be broken down into phases on how a large scale event comes together. So it will be chronicalized so that you can see. So if you are an organizer or a parent, what to look for in the event. And every event is different, but the foundation of it coming together is the same. So with that being said, I want to turn it back over to you, Len, because I want to have this recap, with Brandon and Glenn, and we want to talk about, some of the seminal moments of this announcement press conference. And once again, we are at the crossroads where life and sports intersect.
So,
Absolutely.
as we begin to wrap up, let's talk about sort of what we enjoyed, what we learned, things that stood out to us the most. We'll just go around the room, around the virtual room, and what insights did you take? What information did you walk away with as we wrap it up? So we talked about our host city. We talked about the amazing University of Louisiana Monroe. We talked about our strategic partners with Laurel Springs and with Team Up, our fundraising partner. So what were your takeaways? We'll start with you, Brandon.
Well, what I do like is normally, like, obviously, Thomas, you did it, with that other company, and the thing that I like that we are doing with this one is while they're there for that whole week, there's different events and things set up and like the touristy things. I like that a lot. I'm looking forward to that. I like that a lot. I think that's a good touch on things. And it just kind of gives the families more bang for their buck too. And on top of it, it gives you an opportunity to learn. I didn't know any of those things, like Delta was there and the first, like none of that stuff. So I didn't know any of that stuff. So I'm looking forward to being able to check that stuff out. So that really stood out to me, just for the simple fact that it'll give the parents more than just a football game and stuff like that, but it'll give them an opportunity to see what the town has to offer and just be able to bond with everybody else that's around too and kind of see what the city has to offer minus just a football game.
That's awesome. Thank you. Glenn?
Thing that struck me was, just how welcoming, from the mayor, the town, and it just seems like, they're really happy to be partnering with us on this. And it's great. And, I have no doubt when it comes to promoting it that they'll definitely help promote it as well. No, I think it's great that, it's all coming together. It's Thomas's vision and yours as well. And it's just great to see that, we're going to be doing something that, will help a lot of kids. And that's the best part of it for me.
That's awesome. And so maybe I'll share mine first, and then Coach, Thomas, I'll let you close us out in a very succinct closing.
Oh,
So,
wow. Okay.
My takeaway is this: it is a gift as someone who I keep them on the outside, but I get to see the outside and I see the work that the three of you have done, along with everyone else who's a part of the team who wasn't able to join the call, to see this vision come into reality is a gift. And it's something that I think we've all been invited into because it's beyond us. And I applaud Thomas for his work and his vision and his diligence. I'm not sure I've quite seen him be as diligent in the last as he has towards this. And we joke, for those of you who may not see this, but we joke at home because I have the master's in nonprofit management. He's the one that did all the work behind launching this. So it is hilarious to me that that's happened. But I applaud all of you on this call and that are part of the organization's leadership, because it takes vision, it takes sacrifice, it takes looking beyond ourselves and helping others. And so, of course, to that end, I also thank and applaud Thomas for his vision. And succinctly, I'm going to turn it over to him and let him close us out.
Thank you for that, Lynn. And once again, this has been a very special show, edition of the Crossroads where life and sports intersect. So it's been my pleasure
to be able to do this and part of our masterclass series and bringing this to the marketplace. So with that being said, until we all meet again, I love you guys. That's an action word, and we're out at the crossroads where life and sports intersect. Peace.